Namaskaram. I hope all of you are doing well. Here I am, Karishma, your VARC coach, to help you know another exam better. This series, Know Thy Exams, is aimed at improving your knowledge about the various MBA entrance options that you have so that you are better informed and you can take decisions that are well informed, decisions that are based on facts, and of course, your choices and preferences. So, today we are going to dive deep into, I would say, the most popular exam after CAT, and that is that. So, let's know more about it. So, what is ZAT famous for? ZAT is famous for a lot of things. Um, ZAT is famous for giving you five options rather than four. Last year, ZAT became famous for reintroducing the essay writing section. So, we will talk all about it. But let's first know that it is XLRI that conducts ZAT. And XLRI has been conducting ZAT for the last 72 years at an all India level. And it is one of the most sought after exam taken by the test takers across MBA aspirants. And this ZAT score is not just used by the Xavier Institutes, it's also used by other institutes. So there are around 160 institutes that take and accept ZAT scores for admissions. The registration this year has already begun on the 10th of August, and the exam is going to be on the second Sunday of the new year. It's usually on the first Sunday, but this year the first Sunday is on the first, and first is an off everywhere. So they've kept it on the second Sunday, which is the 8th of January 2023. You should go through the website zatonline.in, and there you will find the list of the various colleges that accept ZAT scores for admissions. So there are some really cool colleges, good colleges that accept ZAT scores. The most famous ones are, of course, XIMB itself. You have IMT, various branches. You have XIME, you have IRMA, which is the Rural Management Institute in Anand, Gujarat. You have MICA, one of my favorites, Mudra Institute of Communications and Advertising in Ahmedabad, very well known for its marketing. So I am Lucknow and MICA. I think you will find the creme la creme of the marketing people in MICA, and I am Lucknow. Tapmi, of course, and Great Lakes, Chennai, Gurgaon, 4, Delhi, Liba, BIMTech, and there are many other colleges that accept that scores. So a lot of top colleges like tier 1 colleges and also tier 2 colleges accept that scores. So if you're scoring decently well, then also you might make it to a good, decent B school. Okay. So you can go through the IMS India website also, where they have listed all the colleges that accept ZAT scores. Now, there is also the provision of entering XLRI for various programs through GMAT. Although GMAT is a pretty expensive paper and you shouldn't be taking GMAT without, full preparation and everything. But just in case you are a GMAT aspirant, you can make it to XLRI for programs like PGDM or BM in Jamshedpur, BM in Delhi NCR, PGDM in HR, XPGDM is Executive PGDM, and of course a fellow program in management. So the GMAT score is accepted by XLRI for these courses. These are the various colleges that come under the Xavier's chain, I would say. And Kolkata, Bhubaneswar, Bengaluru, Mumbai, Delhi is the new addition. You also have Jabalpur, Jamshedpur, and Ranchi. The most famous is, of course, Bhubaneswar and Jamshedpur. Then I would say Mumbai. And yeah, of course, the remaining follow after that. So these are the various branches. This year also it's going to be a computer based test, so it will be an online exam. The total number of questions are 100. Each MCQ is followed by 5 answer choices. So in CAT, in the other exams, you have 4 choices. ZAT is known for giving you 5 choices rather than 4. The scoring pattern is that you get a +1 for every correct answer and a -0.25 negative for every wrong answer. There are 75 questions which are MCQs. The remaining 25 questions are also MCQs, but they do not have negative marking. So for the first 75 questions which are based on QADI, LRBA, RC, you have negative marking. For GK, there is no negative marking, which means you should solve all 25 questions. Who knows, you might get a couple of questions correct by fluke. I'll guide you a little about the strategy in the end. The exam duration total is 3 hours. There is no sectional test limit, which means you can choose to do questions in whatever order you like. You want to do it in descending order, go ahead. You want to do I don't know, apply some numerology, feel free to do so. You want to do it in the right order from 1 to 75. It's cool. There is a 15-minute essay writing that was a part of XAT for a long, long time, but it disappeared around 2018 19. And last year on the Christmas of 25th of December, they suddenly made this announcement that they are going to reintroduce essay writing. Just before 1 week of the exam, this was announced, and yeah, essay writing happened. It's actually essay typing, not writing, because you had to type it. So this was reintroduced, and it is going to stay a part of the paper this year as well, hopefully. All right, and the topics for 2022 are this. You had a choice between capitalism and democracy cannot coexist. You had to write on it. Or you could choose a topic in management. We don't need people who've never experienced failures or setbacks. So you can expect topics in similar lines. We will talk about essay writing more in another YouTube. But yeah, for now, I think this should give you a vague idea about the difficulty level of the essay writing, I would say. Also, you can start writing maybe an essay a week, or for that we have ample time. So even if you write 2 essays a month, I would say that is fine right now. You can increase the frequency later on. For the GK section, there is no negative marking. Essay writing, of course, is a subjective section and there's no negative marking. Your essay is not evaluated for the ZAT percentile. If you get a call, then your essay is evaluated and you will be questioned on your thought process and whatever you've written in the personal interview. So the essay is evaluated after your shortlisting, okay, after the first round. There is another unique thing about ZAT, and that is that if you are leaving more than 8 questions out of 75, then you are going to get a minus 0.1 for every unattempted question. So you have to be very wise that you leave the toughest 8 questions and you try and do the remaining. If you are not doing them, then there is a minus 0.1. So you will have to weigh if you are willing to score minus 0.1 or minus 0.25. So you will have to keep that choice in mind and then operate accordingly. So that's something which does not exist in the remaining exams, I would say. So this is a peculiar ZAT staple feature. Okay. This is how the exam looks like. So there are 26 questions from the verbal area, and logical ability here means verbal reasoning. Then you have 21 questions from decision making. So now decision making is a section which is seen only in ZAT and somewhat to a little extent in NMAT. Then there is quantitative ability in data interpretation with 28 questions. Like I said, there is no sectional time limit and you can do whatever you want and whatever order you want. And you can switch between sections and go here and there with the questions. And this is why it's important that you discipline yourself and decide how to go about the paper. Otherwise, you will end up confused कि क्या किया है और क्या नहीं किया है और क्या छोड़ा है और क्या रह गया है. So you need to have that clarity. After these 3 sections get over, after the first part gets over, the second part begins, and you are given 25 minutes. As quickly as possible, you should finish the 25 GK questions, if possible, in 5, 6, 7 minutes, and then leave the remaining time to write, type the essay that has come, because that will require thinking and then typing. And then adding this one question, you have 101 questions. Otherwise, this makes it 100 questions. All right. So that's the pattern of the paper and you have to prepare accordingly. I will talk about decision making in another video. In fact, we are going to practice decision making questions this year itself for ZAT 2023. The sooner you start preparing, the better clarity you have, the more questions you can practice, and the more you will score. So decision making is a problematic section, especially after the negative publicity it received from 2022, because it was really tough. So we're going to take a look at all those tough questions very soon on this channel itself. About the colleges, I think you should know that Jamshedpur is known as the Steel City, and XLRI is the top ranked college for HR, not only in the country, but it's one of the finest in Asia. So the Asia Pacific is one of the finest HR colleges. So if HR is your, I would say, something that you want to major in, then Xavier's is your choice number 1. Tata Institute of Social Sciences, TIS, is your choice number 2, TISNET. CAT definitely is a choice. You can also try SNAP. So these are the top colleges, and top choices for exams for people who want to take HR as their majors or who want to work in the human resources. It was also recognized by the London Business School among the first 5 institutes in India for management research. If you look at the kind of companies that come to Xavier's for placements, you will see all the big names out there, and they're very proud of themselves and they boast all about it on their website. McKinsey and Rothschild and Aditya Birla and Cadbury's and Goldman Sachs and Citibank and Standard Chartered and Accenture and Aon Hewitt and Amazon and EY, ITC, PepsiCo, all big brands. You, I'm sure, also know about celebrities and entrepreneurs who are graduates from Xavier's. So you can go through their websites and you will find impressive testimonials like this. You can give it a read as per your own comfort. These are the prominent recruiters that XIMB boasts about. So if you look at the names, you have some pretty big names in consulting, Gemini, Cognizant, Deloitte. In sales and marketing, you have big names like Titan and Boston Scientific. In the banking sector, you have HDFC, HSBC, and everything. You also have Accenture, HCL, and stuff. In the systems department, in operations, you have Larsen and Toubro and Tata, Vedanta. In the FMCG sector, you have Nestle and Crompton. So all big brands, like I said. And there is this entire list on the XLRI's page where you will see that almost all great companies, dream companies that you think about today are very much coming to the Xavier's group and recruiting the alumni. So it's a great, great choice. Now, coming to the strategic portion and how to go about preparing for it, one thing that you need to understand is that there are two, in fact, three extra sections which are not there in CAT. One is GK, two is decision making, and three is essay writing. So GK becomes a part of CAT during the interview, whereas here you have it in the exam. Essay writing becomes a part of CAT process when you have WAT after you get a call. Here you are writing before the call, but it is evaluated after you have a call. And essay, so that's and another section is decision making, which is definitely not a part of any other exam except a little in NMAT, I would say. Well, largely it's a ZAT section, and most people know that decision making, DM as we call it, is a ZAT feature. So you must be prepared about decision making. You must practice previous year questions of decision making. We will do that maybe November onwards. November and December can be devoted to decision making. I'll help you on our YouTube channel itself. So please subscribe. And as far as essay writing is concerned, I will have a session with you in November again, wherein I'll guide you how to write good essays and what can be done in the remaining 2 months so that you can prepare well. Right now, I think you should increase your content and improve your English overall by reading as much as possible. Anyway, reading right now will help you not just in ZAT essay writing, but everywhere, literally, throughout the MBA process, for GD, for GK, for personal interview, for group activity, for group exercise, for extempore, for form filling, for general stuff, and for impressing people in the interview, for doing RCs better. So therefore, yeah, I think reading remains the most important. For GK, of course, you can subscribe to various Telegram channels and Instagram pages, UPSC pages, YouTube channels that help you for GK, that help you for UPSC prep, that help you for GK prep in general, and keep reading the newspapers. So these are a little extra steps that you need to take for that. Solving previous year questions is a must. We will do that on our channel as well. Having the practice to sit for 3 hours and 25 minutes is a must. Having the caliber to solve questions even with 5 options is a must. The capacity to rule out close options is a must. So these are the various skills that we are looking at when we talk about cracking ZAT successfully. I am going to do my share of hard work with you, but not so soon. We're going to take our time and we're going to start this process of concentrating on that only after, I would say, October at least. So we'll take a look at all of that and more. Another thing, when you're preparing for CAT, you're also automatically preparing for ZAT because para jumbles and para completion and summary and RCs remain the same. Do not forget to do grammar and vocab questions also. So when you're preparing for NMAT and SNAP, you're also preparing grammar and vocab for IFT and ZAT. So all of this will be required. It's not an easy exam. At the same time, it's doable if you're a person who's working hard and you are smart and you can think on your feet and choose the right questions and you have a proper strategy of going about the paper. So I think those inputs help you a little, and you will now have some clarity on whether or not to fill the form. What choices do you have? What companies do you want to work at? And of course, how to go about the paper, because what is extra and what is missing is very, very crucial for you to know so that you can prepare yourselves accordingly. If you think that this information was helpful to you, please like and subscribe, comment your feedback, let me know what sessions do you want me to take for you. Please comment them so that I can bring to the table what you want me to. And of course, if you find this useful, do not forget to share this video with your friends. I will see you very soon with more practice sessions, live sessions, and of course informative sessions like these that will help you crack whatever exam you want to. Thank you and have a good day ahead.